The FBI has launched a civil rights investigation into the shooting death of a black man in North Carolina. Andrew Brown Jr. was shot 5 times by police during an attempted arrest in his driveway in Elizabeth City near the Virginia border. An autopsy has revealed that he died from a kill shot to the back of his head. The FBI will investigate the shooting to determine whether federal laws were violated. Mr. Brown's death has sparked days of protests across Elizabeth City, a week after former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin was charged with George Floyd's murder. Let's bring in Michael Ware now, Sky News US contributor. Michael, are we expecting similar protests to emerge from this one as we saw after the shooting following the death of George Floyd?
Well, Peter, obviously this separate incident is a tragedy, and it occurred the day after the Floyd verdict. But so far, the answer to your question is no. We're not seeing, and right now we're not expecting the kind of violent protests that we've seen since George Floyd's killing on May 25 last year, and with the Black Lives Matter summer, if we can call it that. So far, there's been protests virtually every night over the 6 days since Brown was killed, but they've been entirely peaceful. However, out of an abundance of caution, they declared a state of emergency in the state and imposed, or in the city, and imposed a 5 p.m. curfew. So things are evolving in a much more measured way in North Carolina at the moment. But the one thing we truly know about this incident is that right now we still really know nothing. But of course, the police haven't outlined their version of the series of events, and there's great contention at the moment over the release of the body cam footage. Now, in North Carolina, it requires a judge to release that footage, and a judge will hear that application tomorrow. But already the governor, the state's attorney, even the local sheriff has called for the release of the footage. Now, 20 seconds of that footage was shown to the family and their lawyers yesterday, and they came out describing it as an execution. Now, I'm not sure what it's going to look like at the end of the day, but we do know there was a legitimate reason for the police to go and target Andrew Brown. You know, he's got form for drug dealing, that, you know, he's known to police, and they had a warrant to arrest him and search his house on drug-related matters. And even though he cooperated in the beginning and at no point offered a threat to the officers, he did try to back his car out and drive off through a vacant lot. But that's what prompted the police to just start blazing away in what one former officer described as a contagion of fire.
OK, our US contributor Michael Ware, thanks for your time. We'll talk to you soon.